This is the ultimate no BS guide on how to make money as a teenager. Now, if you don't know me, I made my first $10,000 at the age of 19, and I'm currently living in Buenos Aires, Argentina as a digital nomad, doing whatever I want, whenever I want. And I wish I had a video like this showing me step by step exactly how to get here, because if I did, I would have gotten here a lot faster. Now, this isn't a normal YouTube video. Each phase will build on each other and unlock a new level, so be sure to watch until the end. Phase 1. Productivity. Now, before you click off, because this has nothing to do with money, you'll want to keep on watching, because this is actually arguably the most important phase out of all three. And that's because if you aren't able to do this, if you can't turn off your TikTok brain for 2 seconds, then honestly, none of the other steps are going to make sense. Because I get it, when I was a teenager, I was also dumb and distracted. You have so many different things constantly pulling at your attention, making it difficult for you to find focus. And even when you miraculously find this focus, it doesn't stick for long, because then you move on to the next thing. I get it, and things are designed this way on purpose, but it's your job to break past that. And the solution is to become productive. See, like I said, nothing else matters if you aren't maximizing your time. Because there's a misconception with money, where money is tied to time. If you work for X amount of dollars per hour, then you get that. But at the higher levels, when you're actually trying to grow a business, when you're actually trying to scale, it's not about your time. It's about efficiency, and it's about leverage. That's why I can make more than I was a year ago, only working a fraction of the time. But don't get ahead of yourself. If you're just starting out in the journey, then there's going to be times where you need to balance the other things going on with your life with making money online. Especially if you're young, you've got your family, you've got schools, you've got other commitments, and all of those things can hold you back from pursuing online entrepreneurship. So this is exactly the steps that you need to take to become more productive. First, we're gonna start with the biggest #1 killer of your productivity and your focus, and that's this thing right here. You're going to limit yourself daily on your screen time. Get rid of the social media apps, get rid of YouTube, get rid of Netflix, and make sure that you're not spending any time on this guy. What this is gonna do, it's gonna train you to become more focused, and it's gonna help you actually pay attention to the things that are gonna get you to where your goals are. And the second thing to become more productive, it's actually the gym. You see, you might think that it's, just about lifting weights and becoming strong. And while all of that stuff is fine on its own, the reason that you're gonna wanna focus on this is because training actually builds your discipline and consistency. And those are the things that are important for productivity. Those are the things that are going to then transmute into the other areas of your business. But if you can't even stay consistent, if you can't even be disciplined when you say that you're gonna sit for an hour and do outreach, then the rest of the things I'm gonna say just don't make sense. So limit your phone time and go to the gym to build your productivity. Now, once you have that productive foundation set, the second thing is to build and acquire a high income skill. I kind of mentioned this earlier when I said that time isn't correlated to the amount of money that you make. And the reason that's true is because time is actually correlated to the amount of value that you provide. To put it simply, money is the exchange of value. So if you have something that somebody desperately wants and you say, hey, it's gonna cost $1,000, then they'll happily pay that because it's valuable to them. Notice how I didn't mention the amount of hours. Notice how I didn't mention the amount of time that you spend getting it. It's all about the value. Now, there's one big problem that mostly applies to teenagers, and that's, well, you're probably not valuable. Maybe you're not valuable right now. Maybe you don't have any skills that would greatly benefit somebody else. But the fantastic thing, especially about being a teenager, is that you can acquire those skills very quickly. Here's how to do it. First step, obviously, is become valuable. And the best way to do that is to pick up a high income skill. Now, there are tons and tons of high income skills, and I even have a video breaking down all of the ones that I think are the best. But here's a quick recap of the top 3 for 3 specific different types of people. First is high ticket sales. This is best for the social bug, somebody that loves talking, that loves connecting with people, and ultimately would do great in an environment where you're kind of in those one-on-one scenarios where you need to convince somebody to take part in your product. Now, the best person when it comes to online sales, high ticket, any of that stuff is without a doubt Jeremy Miner. But what if you're not a social bug? What if talking to people just isn't really your jam? What if you're a little bit more creative and you want to express that but still make a lot of money? Well, then you can do the second high income skill, which is content creation. See, content creation is perfect because you can double down on the things that naturally attract you. Whether it's making art, talking about tech, playing video games, whatever the case may be, the bottom line is that if you can creatively package that together and use that to grow an audience with your own personality of people that know, like, and trust you, then you can monetize that audience as well. And this is actually exactly what I did. When I was in high school, I started making videos online talking about tech because that's what I was passionate about. I love talking about technology and didn't really have anybody else to share it with. So what better place to share it than the internet? And this led to technical skills like using a camera, soft skills like actually talking to a camera, as well as all of the other benefits like sponsorships and ad revenue. And if you want to grow online, the best people that I could recommend is probably Colin and Samir. Now let's say you're not a social bug, and you know what, you're honestly not that creative of a person. You're kind of like that analytical mind that just like spreadsheets, numbers, things like that. And if that's you, then the best high income skill for you would probably be something coding related. It's actually funny because if I wasn't in the world of content creation already, then this would probably be the path I would choose because I was already doing it in university. And there's a wide range of things that you could do with this skill, whether it's something a little bit more creative like web design, or even something super to the numbers like building automations or web applications. And if you want to hear the journey of somebody who's done exactly this, then search up Brett from Design Joy, who talks about his journey in solopreneurship. Now you might be thinking, Matt, this sounds all great, but how am I actually going to learn these high income skills? And really it comes down to 3 simple steps. First, you're going to want to learn. Watch videos, take courses, read books, whatever you need to do to actually learn the technical aspects of the skill. Perfect example of this is checking out any of the people that I mentioned above regarding each of those skills. The second thing, which is arguably more important, is to practice. See, if you're one of those guys that watches like 12 hours of tutorials, consumes everything, but then never puts it into practice, then to be honest, you're just wasting your time. Instead, what you need to do is take all the information that you're learning and actually put it into the real world and put it into action. And the best way that you can do this is with free trial clients, by practicing with friends and family, or building your own projects. If you're coding, that means building your own automations, building your own web apps, building your own iPhone apps. Or if you're going down the content creation route, start making videos. Pick up your camera, whether it's an iPhone 6 or a $3,000 setup. Start making videos online. They're not going to be perfect, but that's okay. Just get used to practicing and eventually you'll become better. And the final step, which you might not like, is to repeat. See, everyone likes to jump ahead and think that, they're gonna become a master at this stuff in like 1 to 2 weeks. And dude, if that were the case, then everybody would be doing this. But no, that's not how it works. You're gonna wanna repeat this for at least 3 to 6 months and really master and focus on getting better at this skill. That's why we started with productivity. That's why we started with focus and discipline. So that way you could focus on getting better and stay disciplined for 3 to 6 months so that you can actually master it so that it becomes valuable to somebody else. And by the way, I can't just fit everything inside of a YouTube video. So if you want the technical behind the scenes on how to grow your agency, how to make your first $1,000 online and actually get clients, then I have a completely free course which you can click at the first link at the top of the description. And now the third and final stage is your business fundamentals. All right, so now you have all the tools and resources when it comes to actually making money. But how do you actually translate all of this into dollars into your bank account and actually go ahead and start making money? And I'm gonna show you, but first I wanna talk about one of the biggest problems that I see specifically teens face when it comes to actually starting to try and get dollars in their bank account. And that's the fact that most teens seem to think that because they're a teenager, because they're young, they can't go out and make money. So before I even continue on everything, understand that your age is not a limitation. Sure, you can't come from the same angle that somebody with 30 years of experience can. But just because you can't do that doesn't mean that it doesn't have its own benefits. For example, business owners are much more willing to help people that they kind of envision themselves as. They see you as their younger self, so of course they want to help them. That's a benefit that you get from being young, that somebody who's a little bit older just doesn't have. It makes the process of making money online different, but it does not make it harder. In fact, I know 15-year-olds making over $50,000 a month. So simply put, there's no excuse. And the other major problem that I see most teenagers face is that they simply acquire all these skills, get all the knowledge, and do everything right, and then they go and try to start making money online without a plan. And in the nicest way possible, if you think that money is just gonna fall into your lap, then you have this completely twisted, because you're not gonna compare to the rest of the competition that is completely dialed in and locked in when it comes to making money online. So you need the right strategy and plan to attack, which I'm about to show you. Now, right now, I'm gonna cover some of the most important fundamental things that you're going to need in this plan. All right, first up is marketing 101. Now, at its basic level, marketing is just making yourself known to your customers. So your job is to get in front of them. Maybe you're making videos and sharing that message online. Maybe you're talking to them one-on-one through Instagram DMs. Maybe you pay for an ad and forcefully get yourself in front of their eyes. The bottom line is marketing yourself is all about getting in front of your customers. So find a way, find a method of getting in front of them and make sure that they know all about your offer or service. Next is sales 101. Now, to put it simply, sales is walking your prospect through why your product or service is going to bring them a ton of value. And I'm gonna put this very, very simply. If your product or service does not bring them value, then don't sell it to them. Simple as that. Don't be a scammer. Don't be one of those people that tries to, use these super weird, convincing hacks and tactics, because at the end of the day, you want to make sure that that person is getting a ton of value. And if you truly know that the thing that you're delivering is going to change their life, is going to change their business, is going to positively affect them, then you'll have no problem convincing them of that. We've done marketing, we've done sales, and now is finance 101. Now here's the truth. You're probably going to watch this video, take action, listen to what I said, and go out and make a ton of money, which is great. But then if you go on and then blow all of that money on random stuff, then you're absolutely cooked. But at the same time, don't get it twisted. Scared money, don't make money, or whatever the saying is. So it becomes this balancing act where you need to obviously make money, but you also need to continue to reinvest so that your business continues to grow. Here are some of the numbers that you are going to want to focus on, especially early on. First up is your profit. Not your revenue, your profit. If you're making $10,000 in revenue, but then you're left with $1,000 in profit, then it might not be the best business model for you. So make sure that you're optimizing for your profit. The second number, which obviously closely ties into profit, is your expenses. You want to make sure that you have an eye on where all of your money is going. Make sure that small things like subscriptions aren't going unnoticed and you know exactly what they're for and what ROI that provides you. Because guess what? If you can't provide a logical reason as to why you need to spend money on something, then you should not be buying it. And at the same time, if you're, for example, spending $1,000 on ads and it's making you $5,000 in return, then you need to be spending way more on ads to take advantage of that. And you can only do that by understanding where your money's going. And the final number that I would focus on is your customer lifetime value. Now again, this plays into things like your revenue, your profit, even your expenses to some degree if you have fulfillment and things like that. But the main thing that I would focus on when it comes to looking at this number is customer lifetime value really shows just how good your product or service really is. Because if you have somebody that's only sticking around for a month and then after that they're leaving, you need to go back to the drawing board and fix something about your product or service. But at the same time, if they're staying for over 6 months, even a year, then you know that you're doing something right and that the customers that you're getting, they're staying with you for a long time. Not to mention you can then reverse engineer that number to figure out how it plays into your customer acquisition costs, but we won't get into that in this video. So I know that was a lot. Let's quickly recap everything that we talked about. You built up your productivity and efficiency to become the type of person that's in the 1%. You use those techniques to help you learn a high income skill in 3 to 6 months. And then you took these skills, got in front of your customers and showed them how you're going to provide them value. And of course, you made sure to reinvest wisely. Now, once the money starts rolling in, you're going to want to learn how to invest it properly. So click this video here, which are the 5 best stocks that I'm personally investing in right now, which you can click and watch right here.